Hi and welcome to another Type with me. In today's video I want to talk about no Jest, no Mocha, but still testing, just plain testing within Node.js, and later on we will see what we can do to use it in other JavaScript engines, right? So let's go and dive deep into this. So first of all, I just want to show you a very simple test. It's actually a test that doesn't make any sense, but okay, just to explain you a little bit what is possible, right? So a test within Node.js exists out of a test and a describe. We have the package node test, and then we have assert, and then the node assert, right? So we can describe complete test set. So in this case it would be describe blah function, and then we have a test in here, and we just give it a proper name. In my case I'm just gonna give it the name never do this, and then you have assert.strict equal true. Just to show you a little bit what the possibilities are in one eye blink, right? So you see that it has node test packages and node assert packages, so you don't need Jest or Mocha or any other JavaScript library to start testing your Node.js application. Here you see we can do blah that .test.js, right, to run this. If I now gonna do this, I hope it's gonna work, but if I do this mod, this is not really a test. So if I now do node test, you'll see here we just have one test, blah functions, never do this, and blah functions with test one, sweet one, pass one, and all the rest, right? So if I'm now gonna bring this back, and this is a more advanced test application, I can do mod.test.js. Here you see we imported test and describe. We also imported assert, and we have two functions, add and multiply. And for that we can very easily do assert.strict equal add 2 and 3, which becomes 5, and then here can very easily do assert.strict equal result of 6, and we get 2 multiplied by 3, 6, that's going to be that, and here we do assert, throws, add, and so on. So actually one should fail, right? So if we execute this, you will see that we get this one right here. And if we go a little bit up, see here, test add mod blah 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 throws an invalid input, assertion error, missing expected exception, and here you see that we have one failure, right? And it also provides you why it is failing. So imagine that we know this and that we just want to skip this. Then we can do something like this. We can say, hey, I want to skip this, and then you can provide the reason. This is skipped because it throws an error. So you can very easily skip your test, then you can run this test, and then you see everything is passed. This is being put into disabled, right? And you get the reasons behind it. So that's also nice. It gives a good overview of what you want. Another thing to notice that you can do is a to-do. You know that this test is not finished yet, and you can very easily annotate that it's not finished. You also need to know that, yeah, you have failing test, but here fail is 0, and you have to do, which is 1. So if you have these kind of numbers and you want to put it out into some kind of a report, then you know that you have 1 to do, and you have all the rest that is being passed, right? So we do this again, skip here, we can run it again, it's fine, and then we can do something like test experimental code coverage. So you know that it's experimental, but I made a mistake in typing it out, so I will copy paste it. I made some it's not code coverage, it's test coverage. Well, you see here we have file, line, branch, function, and everything is having 100% code coverage, which is great. We have covered everything, and you have some kind of a nice overview of how much lines, how much branches are, if else's and switch cases, and then how many functions we have covered, which is great, and that's all baked in. So imagine you're not happy with Node and you want to use something else, right? So what we could do then is run this with bun test, and then you will see that we have 2 failed tests, but that's normal because here you will see a Node test is not yet implemented in Bun. Track the status and thumbs up the issue, right? So they are aware of it, that needs to be built in, and then we can do something like this, I guess. I'm gonna try, because for me it's also some kind of a test. I have no idea. So here we go, and then you see here test accepts a function here. So you see here that blah is working, and then here the skip of that is not working because probably that feature doesn't exist within Bun test. So we're gonna remove this. I'm gonna run this again, and you see that we have 3 passed and 1 failed, which is this one that is failing. So if you then want to use this within Bun, that's possible. Within Deno, you can also do or try to run this, because one of the things you will see here, Deno test. But then you see here run for test across 2 files. Unsupported schema Bun for module test. I'm gonna see if because that's, I think, normal now. What we need to do now is to Node, because I think Deno will be more pleased with that, of course. So going back to that, doing this now, and what do we get? I'm quite curious. So so the errors, not implemented, test.describe, and here test.describe. So I'm curious if we do this. I have no idea if this then will work, but then again, I think it's interesting because, like I said before, we're just trying things and see what the differences are between the different kind of 3 passes and 1 failed, which is, I think, great, because that's the thing we want to have, right? Yeah, so you see the describe, it doesn't work within Deno, but all the rest it's working, and we can use Node test library as well within Deno. So that's nice. So this is a little bit of the state of which the different kind of JavaScript engines are with their test runners. I think it's great to use this if you have an application within Node.js where you don't want to be using Jest or Mocha or other kind of JavaScript libraries to do the testing, and have just native testing within your JavaScript engine, which is a great step forward, I think. And hopefully these JavaScript engines will use the same kind of libraries, where it's then very easy to bake in these testing libraries and testing frameworks to move forward with. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. This means a lot to me. Thank you very much, and see you next time.